The medical community always likes to think of itself as being completely rational, objective, and evidence-based. But as a physician myself, I'm here to tell you that that's not always true. Groupthink can be very strong in medicine, just as it is in any other highly rigid and hierarchical system. I want to share the story of Ignaz Semmelweis, the man who basically invented antiseptic theory and was ostracized by the medical community for it. Ignaz Semmelweis was a Hungarian physician and scientist who practiced obstetrics and gynecology in the 1860s. He was the first to demonstrate that the incidence of infection was greatly reduced when healthcare workers regularly washed their hands. In 1847, he proposed having all healthcare workers wash their hands with a chlorinated lime solution at the Vienna General Hospital's first OB-GYN clinic. After this, they saw maternal mortality rates decrease from 18% down to less than 2%. Semmelweis was so excited by this. It was groundbreaking. It was going to change the practice of medicine forever. He published his findings in 1861, and to his surprise, he was completely ostracized. His observations conflicted completely with the accepted theories of the scientific and medical community at that time. They completely rejected his idea. Sadly, in 1865, Semmelweis became increasingly frustrated and outspoken due to how much he was being gaslit by the medical community. He eventually had a nervous breakdown and was committed to an asylum by his very own colleagues. He was betrayed. While at the asylum, Semmelweis was beaten by some of the guards and died 14 days later due to his injuries. And only a few years after his death, Pasteur completely validated his findings with the germ theory. He was vindicated, but it was already too late. This is the tragic story of a man who was punished and gaslit for having the courage to go against the grain and be innovative. He saved lives. He improved the field of medicine forever, and yet he was continuously ostracized and betrayed by his colleagues. He was quite literally gaslit to death by the medical community. From this came the Semmelweis reflex, which is a cognitive bias where a person completely rejects any new idea that contradicts entrenched norms or paradigms. Semmelweis is now recognized as a pioneer of antiseptic theory. If only his colleagues had just given him a chance, he wouldn't have become just another casualty of the groupthink of the medical community. The dogmatic and rigid hierarchical nature of the medical community is just as strong today as it was then. Consensus is pushed hard, and dissenters are often dismissed as science deniers, conspiracy theorists. As a physician, your license, your career is always on the line, and even the smallest thing can set off a chain reaction that ruins an entire career. Physicians are conditioned to be compliant and trust the rigid hierarchy. But I'm here to tell you that all that does is suppress innovation, and it harms people like Ignaz Semmelweis, a man who should have been deeply respected and commended, but instead was betrayed by his very own colleagues.